Just to talk about the boosters, first of all, I can announce today that ATAGI, as we have discussed in recent weeks, has been looking at the booster program and made some very specific examinations of the booster program, in particular whether it should be given earlier, as it has been the case in the UK. So, just as a reminder, at the moment the ATAGI advice has been for 6 months. Once people have reached a 6-month stage since their second dose, that they should have that booster. It's really important now, with the emergence of the Omicron variant, that we do go ahead and get that booster when people are due. So ATAGI looked at what was the evidence that we had, and I would highlight a couple of the issues that they specifically looked at. Recognising that the UK, for example, has gone to a shorter time period, they looked at that specifically, but they really looked at the evidence of why that should occur. And just to quote directly from them, there is no evidence to suggest at the moment that an earlier booster dose of the current COVID-19 vaccines will augment the protection against the Omicron variant. In fact, there is very little evidence at the moment that shows that a shorter period between the primary course and the boosters, less than 20 weeks, is effective. Now, there is one difference there, in relation to the immunosuppressed population, where that's seen as a third dose, and that can be given at a minimum of 2 months after the second dose. But for the general population, the advice from ATAGI remains a 6-month gap between that second dose and the booster program. So, in summary, no change. Just on the Omicron variant itself, we now have 9 cases here in Australia, 8 of those in New South Wales. We have seen some cases now that have been in the community rather than directly into quarantine. The 7-year-old child in the northern suburbs of the North Shore of Sydney is one. There may well be more cases to come in Australia. We know that this is now spreading into other countries in the world. There are a total of 419 cases as of this morning in around 30 countries. So we do know that it is transmissible. It's no question there about that. It's transmissible between people. It is transmitting in many countries. It has transmitted here to Australia. We had a wonderful exchange of views last night in a 2-hour meeting with our South African colleagues. I say exchange of views because they were very interested to hear about the success of our vaccination program. It's been a real challenge in South Africa. They have a remaining high hesitancy, and indeed anti-vaccination views are strong in South Africa. So they wanted to talk to us about how we had addressed that here and how we'd been so successful in our vaccine rollout as an international comparison. They also wanted to talk about mandating of vaccines, and they were working through that in South Africa. From our side, of course, we were very interested to hear whatever they could share with us in relation to the Omicron variant, and particularly those 3 key questions that I've raised at previous press conferences. Is it transmissible? They are no doubt that it is. It's definitely replacing Delta in South Africa as the main COVID-19 virus.